Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to use Gemini within Google Docs or a template to create a great looking meeting agenda. You're also going to find that although I love AI, it's not always the best tool to use when you're trying to create a very specific product or get a specific outcome. So let me show you what I'm talking about. This is a typical agenda that I would usually type up. As you can see, it's kind of boring, but hey, it gets the job done, as compared to having an agenda that looks like this. So much more visually appealing. You'll notice that it looks more organized and has space for you to take notes if you want to, as well as what's called a task tracker, which we're going to talk about in just a minute, and also allows you to look up for topics that you can assign at different dates. So this is what it looks like when you use a template, and I'm going to show you how to do that first. So I'm going to open up a new tab, and you'll go to templates, and the one I like to use for meetings is called one-to-one notes. So you'll simply click on that, click insert, and you can start. Here's what I love about this one as well. If you already have a meeting that is set up in your Google Calendar, you can actually find that meeting by clicking over or hovering over calendar event. You could simply choose it, and those notes will be attached to the event that you've created. Now, what I have found, and someone may find different, if someone else has created the meeting and it shows up in your calendar, the notes that you're trying to add to it may not work. So typically you're the one that has to be the one that created the calendar event in the first place. All right, but let's talk about what if you have not created a calendar event. Well, here's what I would recommend. This is an actual template that I used for a meeting that we had, and what you can do is go into insert, and you go to building blocks, and then you go to calendar event draft. When you click on calendar event draft, all of this will be blank, so you can add in the emails of those that you want. And the way to do that, by the way, in case didn't know how, is just click the and button, and you'll see those emails come right up that you can choose from. This will be blank for you when you start, so you'll be able to click on it and you'll be able to choose which day you're wanting to have the meeting and what time. And what's going to be nice is that later on, everyone that you've invited, when they go to their Google Calendar and they see the invite, as an example, they click on it, there's the actual agenda already showing up. The other thing I love about this is that often we get so many Google Docs that we forget where they are or the name of them, and we have difficulty locating them. Well, at least in this case, you can go find your meeting that you had in the past, and you'll be able to find those notes. All right, so let's talk about some of the advantages of using the template and tools that Google offers, and then we'll talk about how to use Gemini. The first thing I like about it is the ability to create a calendar event so that everyone can see it. You've got your emails all in one place, so I'm not having to copy and paste in my email. I love the fact that I can delete anything I don't want, and I can type in the topics that I want. I can set a time. And the other thing I wanted to show you is this. When you actually host the meeting, you can insert a timer. And so if I've reserved 10 minutes for a particular portion of the meeting, while I'm in that section, I can hit play. It's going to count down, and everyone that opens up this document is going to see that timer. It just does a great job of keeping you on track. Now, the way you do that, and I'll hit enter here, you can go to insert, go to smart chips, and you'll see timer or stopwatch. I'll hit timer, and then you simply type in the minutes that you want. It's already got 5 minutes, and you are ready to go. And you can click reset to start it over if you need to. Okay, the other thing I love about having these templates is that you can insert files. So you don't have to do a bunch of links. The files you can already find in your Google Drive. All you gotta do is click on File, simply type in the document that you're looking for, click on it, and then it will add the file automatically, and everybody will have access to it. Please remember to set your sharing settings to anyone with the link. The other thing I wanted to show you is that you can put hyperlinks in the Google Doc if you so choose, even if you're using a template, that's not a problem. But here's what I think is a game changer that I really wanted to share with you in terms of using the template and options that Google Docs provide, and that's the task tracker. So the way to add a task tracker is simply go to Insert, you're going to go to Building Blocks, and you're going to see Task Tracker. You're going to click on it. This will pop up. This will all be blank. And what you can do is, once again, you'll hit the @ button, and you can put in a name. Now, here's one thing I've noticed. If you're trying to assign a task to someone and you want to see whether or not they have started it or that they're finished with it, you can only add one person at a time. If you do not care to see if they've started with it or not, and you simply just want to assign it to them, you can add everybody into one column. So the only disadvantage is that I had to copy and paste because everyone was assigned the same task. And then what I did is I added their name. I gave the date in which it was due, and what I really like about it is it will show up in their taskbar. So let me show you how it works. I'm going to add another column, and I'm going to find me. Whoops. Click on that. Go James, so Gem Masters. Click on that. I'm going to simply copy and paste and pretend that I'm giving myself the same assignment. I'm going to choose the date in which it's due and click that. Let me come back up, click 24th, click OK. Now, it's not been assigned to me, so what I want to do is actually click on the assign button, or I'm going to click assign as a task. You'll know it's been assigned to them when their icon or logo pops up. Now, what I love about this is when they open up their taskbar, you'll notice I now have a new task that I'm going to complete. Now, they've got a couple options. So number one, they can click on the agenda because they probably were not looking at that particular document. They might need a little bit more information, and you'll notice that it brought me right to the task tracker. So now I know exactly what I'm supposed to do in case I need to read a little bit more or I need to research in other parts of the document. But I then have the ability to mark whether or not it's in progress. Or if I'm finished with it, I'll go ahead and close this out. In my taskbar, when the individual clicks Mark Completed, it now shows up in the same Google Doc as completed. And I love this because it's a way that we can all hold each other accountable, and we can see who's finished without having to email people back and forth to figure out where they are. It's just making us more efficient and saving us time. And then as you go through the rest of the document, it's pretty self-explanatory on that. The last thing I want to show you is that AI is not always the best option for things, even when it comes to saving time. So I'll give you a quick example. What I did was I asked Google Gemini to create a meeting agenda. And you can read this at a later date. You'll have the link to this actual document. I'm going to click on Copy, and I'm going to click on a new tab. All right. And I'm going to ask it to use AI. So I click on Templates, Help Me Create. I've already pasted this in. I'm going to click Create, and you'll see the difference between using a template as compared to using just AI. And again, it's the same information that I had in the original. You'll notice that it looks far superior to the old look. However, it doesn't have the beautiful heading at the top. Even when I asked Gemini to create a picture for the heading, it did not do it at the time. But again, it's a lot better looking than what I had previously. So I hope that you have found this video helpful, and it will help you become more efficient and more effective with your meetings as well. Thank you.